gamer nowadays is pretty common. Just look at Twitch, where a whole community is formed by people who enjoy gameplays. Also, on YouTube, there is a high demand for it. The biggest stars started as gamers, gaining massive audiences, and years later, gameplay videos gain millions of views. But I'm not going to focus on today's technology and games provided to people. Nope, I'm going to take you back to the 2000s and my own experiences with what are now considered somewhat retro gaming machines. It kind of scares me how fast technology evolves, that PS1 can be found in museums, but I'm not going to fall into that rabbit hole about how fast time passes. Let's jump right into my childhood. The first piece of technology that I got into my hands that I think puts me pretty easily into the gaming category are Tamagotchis. They were little egg-shaped consoles with fairly easy usage. Inside lived a small creature that depended entirely on you to take care of it. You had to feed it, keep it clean, play games with it. Later you could take it to school and afterwards give it a job. Show it how capitalism works. And if you didn't give it enough attention, it would die. Which, well, fair enough, that is also what is going to happen to a real-life pet if you don't take care of it. If you forgot about it for a day, it would probably be transformed into an angelic egg, which brings forth the question about the afterlife or gods in the Tamagotchi world. Yeah, I'm not going to dive into that rabbit hole either. Tamagotchis were really cute. I would give them a lot of attention and play with them. Especially that game where you collected notes as they fell, I would always try to get 100 of them and succeed most times. I had the Tamagotchi Connection version 3 and version 4.5. I would try to get one female and one male in order to get babies out of them, but I later found out that it had to be from the same generation for that to happen. Tragic, I know. Next, I had been gifted, I don't remember by whom, a Pixel Chix. The way this game looked did something to my brain that resulted in me spending time just looking at the way it was built. The little stairs and table and shelves were so tiny and cutely sculpted, I wanted to live inside it. Once again, this game was about taking care of something. Not a little creature, but an electronic girl made of pixels on a LED screen. See how it all comes together with a name? She had moved right in and you could play games with her, find foods to give her and dress her up. You started with fairly few options, but the more you played, you would level up and more mini-games would open. What made that game stand out was the sass. If that girl didn't like something, she would say it without sugarcoating it. You would tell her to play games she didn't like, she would say, "No way." You hadn't given her attention for a couple of hours, she would be angry and ask, "Where have you been all day?" And if you forgot her long enough, the house would get cobwebs, she would pack her things and leave. It had happened a couple of times. Another one I had seen on TV and looked incredible to my 10-year-old eyes was My Life. A console game that looked retro even when I got it, but the cute colors and the ads playing on TV promoting it had me hooked. That Christmas it was my present, and once I opened it, I was so happy. I started playing it after adding some batteries inside, and as soon as the screen lit up, I was met with this. Well, good marketing. I have to say that they made it look way better in the ads. If only there were available free reviews online back then. You see, you people have it easy right now. You want to buy something, you just search up reviews online. Back then I was young, my family didn't know how to do this, and none of us knew if it was good or not. So yes, you simply saw something, had no idea about it, and you would buy it. I know that sounds crazy right now, I'm sure. Alas, there is no point crying over spilled milk. Moving on from the looks of it, the game was fine, a classic simulator game. You had friends, mean girls, family, school, a boyfriend and a pet. You could play mini games, buy clothes, take care of your relationships, which I have to say was kind of weird because a lot of them were mean to you even if you had happy smiles on your relationship status. Also, you had some stats you had to keep up. If you didn't, you would end up in the hospital, and for some reason, whenever that would happen, I couldn't get out. I don't know if it needed money and I didn't have it or what, but once I was inside, that was it, I would never get out. That was the point that I would reset the game, lose all of my progress and start over again, only to inevitably end up in the hospital again. Over time, I would get frustrated and stop playing. I tried it again recently though, and it went a lot better. I don't know what my kid self did wrong, but now I could manage it way better and I was healthy and had no unnecessary hospital admissions. Of course, this video wouldn't hold on to that 2010s nostalgia if the Nintendo DS wasn't mentioned. Once again, I am watching TV and during the ad break, I see the cutest thing ever. puppies inside the handheld console. I always wanted a dog, but they were way too hard to maintain at the time and my parents said no. But these ones were electronic. They couldn't say no to that. Spoiler alert, they did. It was too expensive for them to buy it, even as a Christmas present. So, what did my young self do? She decided to collect the money on her own. And how did I do that, I hear you ask? Well, I would keep any change from the lunch money my family would give me, even if it were 10 cents. I tried it for a couple of months, but that process wouldn't have the results I wanted soon enough. So I brought out the big guns, the Christmas carols. My friend and I would start singing in my village during Christmas and New Year's Eve from 8 in the morning till noon, by going to the houses of people we knew we would get extra money, and thus we sang our hearts out, and by the end of it, each one of us had a very good sum. Mine was just right to get the Nintendogs, and after that I did nothing else but care for my pups. I had one Beagle, one Cavalier Spaniel, and one Golden Retriever. I had played so much, I had maxed the walking distance, made at least $1 million in cash, and had bought almost every house. The little doggies were champions in the obstacle course. Life was great! This game kept me occupied for years. I loved taking care of them, and I would connect my device at the park and have meetups with other kids' dogs. I had some other games, but I have to say, none of them ever felt as good as Nintendogs. Even Mario, which I played on a friend's Nintendo because I never bought it. It's a great game, just not for me. And by browsing all the games that were published for the console, I have to say that I don't see any others being at the level that Nintendogs were. Crash Bandicoot was pretty neat as a playthrough, but the graphics were a bit meh. Oh, and Zelda, that one with a chibi link, that's also good. And that leads me to the last gaming console I got as a kid, and that was the Nintendo Wii. And because it was expensive, the Christmas carols once again came to the rescue. The Mii Center was incredible for my younger self. I would customize my character for hours and help all my friends and family do the same. I didn't have a lot of games, and the one I spent most of my time on was the Sports Resort. I remember liking all of the games, and my favorite was the plane. And then there was Mario Galaxy, which I became obsessed with. Like, the main hall was so cozy, and the little Lumas were so cute. Rosalina became my favorite Mario character, and the levels were fun, but at the same time kind of annoying, because I remember the camera not helping sometimes in weird angles, but it has been so long since I played it, it might not have been that big of a problem, because I think I finished it. I still play video games on my PC now, but the handheld consoles were something else. It may have been due to the fact that you could take them anywhere and play, or because of the simplicity of the medium. Not a lot of choices apart from the games that you already had on you, but it would take a lot of time before I would get bored of them. Or maybe because they were really cute to look at, I don't know, I am still very fond of all of them. They gave me a lot of happy memories while playing and growing up. Write in the comments if you had any of them, especially in my life. I think it didn't last all that long, and I want to know if anyone else remembers it. But of course, share any similar story, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Ring that bell button to ensure you get notifications whenever a new video is uploaded, and see you in the next video. Bye!